Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to day 2 of Davis Cup World Group 2 first round tie between Barbados and Indonesia. The order of play today will be doubles followed by reverse singles. In the doubles, representing Barbados, Darian King and Hayden Lewis. And representing Indonesia, Justin Barkey and Gunawan Trismuwantara. Our chair umpire for this match, Alina Rocha from Brazil.
Test, test.
Davis Cup, presented by We're here at the National Tennis Center, and we will be guiding you through today's proceedings. My name
2 minutes.
is Maitland, and alongside me, two aficionados of the game of tennis. They represented their countries and done pretty well for the sport here in Barbados. I'm joined by Duncan Evanson and Ryan Mosley, and they will be providing the analysis and all the explanations to all the action ahead of us today. Good morning, gentlemen, and what are you expecting from these two teams today?
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Nick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good day of tennis. Think that this doubles tie is going to be very important, and good conditions, and looking forward to a good match.
Good morning, everybody, and I'd also like to say good morning to those listening in Indonesia. I saw yesterday that there were a lot of comments in languages I did not understand, and I can only guess that was the Indonesian contingent. So good morning, wherever you are. Now I'm expecting a great match.
1 minute.
This will be very hotly contested. The tie being deadlocked at 1-1. This doubles match is going to be extremely important to the outcome. You would have to think
Ladies
that
and gentlemen, this
Darian
match will be
King would
played
be a massive favorite to win his singles match. So this doubles tie and the reverse singles are the two that are probably likely to be the most competitive.
Indeed. Now, yesterday, Darian King put the Barbados team, the home team, ahead with his 6-1, 6-1 straight sets victory. But 18-year-old Gunawan Trismuwantara in the first game, and then Justin Barkey of Indonesia came back, and he scored a victory over Kaipo Marshall, 6-2, 6-4. So, as Ryan said, we are locked at 1 apiece coming into this doubles game. Ryan, you are a former Davis Cup competitor for Barbados. What is the strategy for this doubles competition, this doubles match, knowing that it is that important?
Well, the strategy in any tennis match is usually an evolving strategy, and especially in doubles, you really have to test your opponent's strengths and weaknesses within the first few games and see what works and what doesn't. So as to what the strategy will be, certainly it will be to put as many first serves in the court as we can when we're serving, and to make as many returns as possible. In doubles, the serve and the return are the two most important shots. And it's not so much how hard the serve is, it's where you place them, because you don't want to be serving into your opponent's strengths. That of course will give them the best chance to have effective returns. So they will be looking to find their opponent's weaknesses so that they can get easier returns. As you will see, there will be almost certainly one person at the net when somebody is serving, and that person in net will be looking to cut off the return and put it away as quickly as possible. So the first few games will be I expect we'll see both teams mixing up where they serve to see where they're getting the most success, and then we'll usually see a pattern then of going toward where the weaker returns have come from.
Indeed, Duncan, quickly. Hayden Lewis, 36 years old, lots of experience. He would have had an opportunity to watch both Trismu Wantara and Barkey in action yesterday. How will he use his experience in combating these two boys?
Hayden's very, very, very experienced, and I think that as a doubles team, really they'll show their experience well. But after this point, as they start now. Yeah, so as I said, Hayden being very experienced, very strong server, very strong returner, and Hayden and Darian in particular, as a strong doubles team, I would say that they're very strong favorites. I mean, they've competed at the highest level, really. So I think that they will do well here.
A strong backhand return there on the left side, so you'll see how Hayden may decide to modify his serving based on that. You see on the very first point, he had a body serve, which led to a reasonably weak return.
Yeah, as Ryan said earlier, there will be a lot of feeling out that happens in the first few games. You know, seeing where the weaknesses lie, and you see the returners changing tactics. Sometimes they'll both play back, sometimes one forward. So a lot of cat and mouse in the early days. Good serve.
Again, a lot of first serves in the court. I don't think he's missed the first serve.
I don't think he has.
And you would have seen on the left side now, Hayden would have served to the forehand instead of the backhand after the first point, feeling out the opponents.
Yeah, that's exactly the type of service game that they want to start with. Hayden is a very, very strong server. Obviously, Darian is very strong at the net, so they would throw in their strongest server first and see where they can, you know, feel out some weaknesses. But this return game now, obviously, they want to try to put immediate pressure on the returns by, as Ryan said, you know, making as many returns as possible and seeing how they respond. I would not be surprised if they test the net player fairly early in this match as well.
For Indonesia to serve.
Second game now of the first set.
You see, there is one of the things you try to do in doubles. Hayden hit the return right down at the netman's toes, forcing them to hit up, giving Barbados an easy shot on the next one.
Serve.
Interesting that both teams have put the left-handers to serve first. Left-handers serves are generally a little more difficult to return than right-handers just because you see less of them. Might have gotten away with one there that might have been sailing long if the Indonesian player did not volley it.
Yeah, quite possibly. It's well played.
Excellent team play. Barbados team is making the returns. We're still seeing a high percentage of first serves in from the Indonesians, but the Barbadian team are doing an excellent job of putting the returns in difficult spots so far. They've got 2 break points. Again, brilliant return from Lewis, and Barbados has the early break.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor would have ordered. As I said, this Barbadian team is very, very experienced. They've won the gross majority of ties they've played against, to be fair, against much stronger teams than what they're facing today. So I would say they're strong favourites, and they're showing that here in the early days with an early break, which Darian will serve now to try to solidify.
Darian King for Barbados to serve.
Once again, good hands from Hayden. You can't just hit returns hard, Ryan. You know, you have to place them well. Otherwise, it's very easy for a good net player to pick it off and win the point. Another good serve and another good first shot. Pretty dominant performance here in the first game from Barbados and Darian on his serve. 40 love, game point. That's a really good first volley. Made it look easy, Ryan.
Yes, that was an extremely difficult shot, made to look very easy by a very good player. And that's the hallmark of good players. They make difficult shots look easy. And that is what, you know, it hasn't looked flashy so far. It has 3 love, but it has been dominant, and they're doing the little things very well.
Correct.
They're getting the Barbados team is getting the returns very low to the volleyer, making them play up. And, you know, the doubles points generally don't last very long. And it is all about cat and mouse and tactical positioning. And Barbados team is doing an excellent job at that, really making these young Indonesians play. Davis Cup is a lot of pressure. Playing for your country is more pressure than playing normally in an individual tournament. And the fact that they are making the Indonesians play difficult shots is really a hallmark of their experience.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, at the end of the day, neither of these players have ever had an ATP World Ranking. They've played very few, if any, matches at an ATP level, whereas, you know, Darian being very close to the top 100, Hayden being ranked at one point in about the top 400 or 500 in the world. They have vast experience at that level, at a level that these men just generally haven't played at yet. They're good players and they will grow, but they will have to step up quite a lot to challenge in this match. Yeah, that's not the type of shot you want to miss.
No, but even that miss is really, you know, Hayden and Darian's positioning made them think that they had to go for more than he went for there. Excellent reflexes there from Hayden.
Very good hands. Very good
reflexes.
Hands. And as you said earlier, the little things, that's the type of ball that you have to put away. If you give a good player an opportunity to get his hands on a ball like that, then all of a sudden you go from a dominant position to, you know, chasing. So it's tough.
I think that is the first miss of a return from Hayden Lewis, and that is,
I believe.
So he's making an extremely high percentage of returns. again with the fundamentals. Deep return from Darian, comes into the net, makes a very deep volley.
Yeah.
Both players at net, good volleyers, makes it difficult for the two players at the baseline to, they feel like they have to go for more.
Exactly, and they're patient. So Darian didn't come there and try to smash the cover off of that volley. He placed it well, made it difficult, and allowed his opponent to miss. Oh, that's a good shot. Darian guessed wrong there.
Yeah, it was a little impatience, but that's what you do in doubles.
Yeah.
The net player tries to cut off, and sometimes you guess wrong.
Yeah. And then Darian and Hayden have a little smile about it because they know, you gamble a little bit, and sometimes you gamble and win. But even that will still put some doubt in the mind of your opponent, so it's okay.
I see Darian King looking closely at that line as though he thought that serve may have been wide. I'm sitting on the line myself, and maybe if I had to call, I might have called it out.
Well, it's one of those close ones, If it doesn't go your way, it looks a little more out. Yeah, good shot.
Yeah, good volley.
This guy Justin Berkey, he showed some very, very good soft touch in his singles against Kaipo Marshall yesterday, so that's not a surprising shot from him for sure. Yeah, good return, good volley.
Yep, excellent deep return, fundamental, and Hayden seeing the deep return, he closed off the net so that that any shot from the Indonesian player would have been within his range to put away. That is doubles 101 by the Barbados team.
Definitely.
Indonesia's fighting here, down love 3. It would be pretty disastrous if they were to lose this game. So they're really pumping themselves up and trying to salvage a hold here to get the score on the board for Indonesia.
That's a tough double fault. When you're fighting back from down 15-40, down love 3, the last thing you want to do is get game point and then give it away for free. So he's going to have to regroup and come up with a pretty good serve here, because the pressure is well on from the Barbados team, making a lot of very good returns, making it difficult for the Indonesian pair to hold here. Oh boy.
Yep, the pressure of Davis Cup.
Yep. And as I said, neither of them have played a lot of matches at this level against this level of opponents, so the pressure can mount on you. So he's going to need to come up with a pretty good serve here now, because I would not anticipate a gift from King. And there's the break.
Barbados up 2 breaks now, 4-love in the first set.
Yeah, that's going to be tough mentally for the Indonesians, because, as I said, they were down a break already, down 15-40, fought all the way back to game point, and then 2 double faults and what essentially amounts to an unforced error forehand. That's going to be that's going to be difficult for the mentally for the Indonesian pair to be able to fight out this set.
Lots of juice in that game just now. Is it no clear advantage for the Bajans?
Very clear advantage for the Bajans. It was a long service game. It did go to juice many times, but clear advantage at 4 love. The camera after the last game went to a gentleman standing up in a tree to watch the action. Of course, there are no spectators allowed because of the state of COVID-19, unfortunately, but people are going to great lengths to do what they can to see the action.
A very good serve. That's the quintessential left-handed serve, Ryan.
Yes, that's what we talked about. That's why Hayden was put to serve first in this match, and he's justifying that confidence that the team has placed in him. Now, in Barbados, you would say that I'm about to put my mouth on Hayden. He has not missed one single first serve for the match. Let's see.
You say that in Barbados?
And a let. Did I cause that?
Indeed you did. So, shh.
Hayden's his powers are stronger than yours, Ryan.
And it's nice to see. Excellent serving by Lewis. Really, that is first class serving. You would not see better serving anywhere in the world. I just came from the US Open and I was privileged enough to see the men's doubles final. And Hayden's serving so far would not be out of place on center court at the Billie Jean King Tennis Center and Arthur Ashe Stadium. Barbados leads 5 games to love and is well in control of this first set.
Yeah, it's very important now for the Indonesians, to be honest. They will definitely want to try to get at least something other than a goose egg in this first set. Just mentally, you know, nobody wants to lose a set to love, but also so that they don't surrender the serving first in the second set. So they definitely would want to try to get at least something out of this first set, and then try to see if they can mount a better showing in the second.
Indeed, Bajans up 5 love in this first set. Looking to end dominantly.
That's a really good shot. Really good shot. Drive volley is it's difficult to time, but he timed it very, very well and was able to take that first point. Good return again. A little bit of a gamble. Well, not a gamble, you know, as in doubles you plan that, you know, he would have signaled, told his opponent that he was going to switch, but he needed to move a bit faster, a bit earlier maybe. It's a touch and go because you don't want to move too early because then you get burned, but he didn't move early enough.
Good depth on that volley by the Indonesian player. Set up the easy put away. It's these fundamentals that the Barbadian players have been paying attention to that have got them to this position.
4-3 the team.
And as Duncan rightly stated, they're going to try their best to get this game here. They want to get some momentum. Even if they don't win the first set, they would like to get some momentum going into the second set.
Yeah, very good playing. Very good playing. And Darian's moving into the net there, created an added pressure, not a lot of space, closed the window for the Barkey of Indonesia to try to hit through. So force the error.
Behind the heavy Hayden Lewis forehand, that's an excellent strategy.
And again, pressure mounts. This was a 40-15 game. They would have really wanted to win it at that point, but it is now deuce, and the pressure is on, and it shows when Barkey, who's been serving well for this whole match, double faults at a very inopportune time to bring Barbados 2 points away from this first set. And that's really good hands from Lewis. Good speed, good hands. I thought he was going to be there a bit later. I thought he was late getting there, but he got there and did brilliantly with it, to be honest.
Hayden is a deceptively good mover on the court. He anticipates very well, and he's very, very, very quick and has good hands once he gets to the ball.
Nice deep shot there from Barkey. Keeps them in this set, saves 1 set point. You hope that he can come up with a good serve here. I have to say that he has, as I said, he has a good serve, but he's not been able to win a lot of free points because the Barbadians have really returned well. And I think I put my mouth on it at that time.
You did. That was an excellent body serve, and he was able to get a free point, making the first serve at a big point.
Who you guys supporting, man? Putting emote on these players all the time.
I don't think you can question our support, but we're trying to give an accurate representation of what is going on, try to get inside the minds of both sets of players. And, you know, even to make it to Davis Cup and to represent your country is a great honor. It means that you've performed very well and dedicated a lot of time. So these are players that we all respect.
Yeah, uncharacteristic miss there from Darian.
Yeah, trying to keep the ball deep, and if he's going to miss somewhere, you would think it would be long. He maybe had an opportunity to move in 2 shots ago when Hayden hit a nice deep forehand, and thought he may have, but they're being patient. They're allowing the Indonesians a chance to maybe lose the set. And they're on the board, 5-1. You may have seen Darian showcasing some football skills there. He's one of the best football players in Barbados as well. He's an extremely gifted athlete.
Played cricket in primary school as well.
I believe that he broke Sir Everton Weekes' primary school cricket runs record and still holds it today. He's also the youngest ever Victualladorum at inter-school sports in Barbados at 14 years old.
Good research you did there.
He's a supreme athlete. I've known Darian since he was 8 years old, and I've followed him with great interest ever since. Excellent control of the net there from Barbados. Great fundamental positioning from Hayden. Seeing that Darian would have made a good first serve, he moved right on top of the net and was able to control it from there after a good first volley from Darian.
Yeah, well played by the Indonesians. That first volley from Darian, once again, he just made that look ridiculously easy, but that was extremely difficult. And then, but the Indonesians did a good job of handling, very good return and taking the point at the net.
Indeed. Oh, this is excellent tennis from the Indonesians. They're trying to fight here, 15-30. They have a mini opportunity now. Again, the shots that Barbados was called on to hit there were very, very difficult.
Definitely.
Some breathtaking half volleys from Darian, but they were unable to hold off the Indonesians there. So a slight glimmer of hope for Indonesia now.
And that's exactly the type of point you love as doubles players. No, doesn't get much better than that.
Nope. I remember playing doubles with Hayden myself in Davis Cup, and Hayden's serve was so good that what Hayden did there just now, that's what I was able to do a lot of. And that glimmer of hope fading.
Fading very, very quickly. Two very good serves there from Darian to set up another set point. Well played. Good return again. Good movement at the net from Barkey to be right there in position after his partner was able to get Darian to volley up, and he was right there ready to put it away. Very good volley.
Savvy play from Lewis there at the net to hit the volley through the middle. Through the middle is an excellent place to go in doubles.
Yeah, they're putting on a clinic here today, Ryan. They really are. If you're a recreational tennis player and you want to learn to get better at doubles, save this stream, take a look at least at this first set, and Lewis and King will teach you how it's done.
There it is again. Excellent hands from Lewis, because the return was a forceful return below the level of the net. So his hands were really good, got the ball back deep, and then he closed off the net to win the first set for Barbados. So advantage Barbados.
Yep. I would say that pretty much what I expected coming into this match, based on just the level of play that Lewis and King are capable of. doubles is quite unforgiving in that way. You know, it's not very. There's not a lot of room for error. So the gaps between the levels of players can be exacerbated by the speed of the points and the way that they play out. So, you know, quite easy for a set, 6-1. I would say that unless the Indonesians can come up with a fairly remarkable game plan here, it's more of the same to be expected.
Definitely, I would expect a bit more of the same, but they did dig their heels in toward the end of that set. They did get that hold of serve, and they were closer in Darian's last service game when they weren't able to convert from the 15-30 position. But their coach, I can see, is, you know, speaking to them and talking strategy, and the players would be heartened by that little extra momentum there at the end of the first set. So let's see. I do expect it to be much of the same, but I do think that the score might be a bit closer here in the second set.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They both have shown that they're willing to fight. They're willing to play and fight, and so it's definitely not going to be they're not going to just walk over. You know, definitely credit to them that they're not going to just lie down and play dead. They're definitely going to fight. But we'll see how Darian and Hayden are able to start this second set.
Strategy from the Indonesians was needed for them to come back in this match.
That's Ryan.
Fundamentals. Lots of first serves, good movement at the net, and you need to make a lot of returns. There you go, starting with the first serve. So that they need a lot more of that. They had, even when they started though, they were making a lot of first serves, but the Barbados team was returning extremely well.
I would say that, you know, strategically, the best strategy would be for the Barbadians to give them a few free points. And they got a couple. They got a couple of free points, so they would definitely want that. They have to take advantage of every opportunity. When you're behind the 8-ball, you definitely want to. You can't let anything slip. So they really have to be very efficient here, taking every opportunity. That's a great volley.
Excellent volley by the Indonesian player, and 3 game points. This could be their easiest. Looks like their easiest service game so far.
Yeah, by far.
As I said, they were getting some momentum toward the end of that first set, so I do expect that the score will be a bit closer in this set. No, that was a good attempt at crossing, but Darian put a little extra pace on that ball that made it a bit difficult for the netman to handle.
Yeah, Darian is very good at being able to hold his shot quite late and therefore able to respond and react to his opponent's movement. So he saw him moving and put a little more on it to make it difficult. And that's a good hold. That's a good hold for the Indonesian team to start off this second set.
Yep, three free points. That will always give you some confidence.
Yeah, what they'll want to do now is very much they'll want to try to get their teeth in at least a little bit into this game. You know, even if all they do is make every return or make the points extend a little longer, they'll want to try to get some momentum or continue some momentum in by getting a little more out of this second game.
Yesterday was much windier than it is today. Trismu Wantara commented on the wind You think that the lack of that will make a difference today?
After this point. That's a very good return. It was windy on and off. I think it was a little windier during the first match that Tristan Antara played, but yeah, the wind can be tough for anybody that's not accustomed to it. So the Barbadians, for us, that's generally an advantage. Very good serve again, very good volley.
All right, now tactically, I saw that Hayden Lewis would have started serving in the first set, and now any player can serve first once another set has started. Almost an excellent return there from the Indonesian. So Barbados has elected to go with Darian King to start serving in the second set. And I have to think that is probably because of the positioning of the sun.
Yeah.
Darian is going to keep serving from this side. Hayden will keep serving from the other side.
That's correct.
Probably because of the sun. No player will, because of that one left-hander and one right-hander, the sun will never be in the server's eyes.
Spot on. Another good volley.
Volley by Lewis.
Good serve, good volley. 40-15, another game point for an easy hold. That's a good shot.
Excellent, typical left-hander whip forehand. Seems like Barkey's really settled in mentally. Both Indonesian players really, but especially Barkey has looked very, very solid from the end of the second set to this point. Great fundamentals again.
Yep, you've seen that quite a number of times. Good first serve, easy put away from the net for Lewis after a great Darian King serve. So 1 game all.
The Barbadians will be looking to see if they can get a break now. An early break in a second set after winning a first set is a big boost to confidence and would certainly give the Barbadian players the confidence again that they would need in order to close this out.
Another good return, really low, difficult for any volleyer because you don't want to just pop it up because then you're a sitting duck. So very good return to take a love 15 in this game.
Yeah, people talk about Hayden as a server, but he is an excellent returner in doubles. Excellent volley by the Indonesian player there. Great drop volley, good touch. And I really ought not to have qualified that Hayden is a good returner in doubles. Hayden is a good returner generally. His hands are excellent. So that part tends to go unnoticed, but it shouldn't.
Definitely.
Of course, as soon as I call him a great returner, he misses a return. But it was a first serve, and that's what the Indonesians need to do if they want to get stuck in, which is make more first serves.
Oh, that's a brilliant shot.
with two players at the net, when you have time at that baseline, through the middle is the best place to hit it. And that was very well done by King.
And you would notice that Hayden almost faked that volley. And for a lot of doubles teams, when your partner does something like that, it can throw you off. But these two have played together so often that Darian didn't miss a beat.
Best point of the match so
Definitely.
far.
Did Darian just go around the net?
Darian went around the net. He went around the net. The Indonesian player did a phenomenal job. I think it was Barkey. Did a phenomenal
Yes, that definitely was really well played by the Indonesians, by both teams, but really the Indonesians handled that extremely well to win that point. A couple of very nice touch shots. Not easy to do.
No, and Hayden almost made that last volley too. It was an extremely difficult shot. It didn't miss by much.
No.
As I said, the Indonesian players looking more settled in this second set.
Yeah, much more settled.
Once again, another good hold from the Indonesians. So they're intent on making a game of it, Ryan.
Yes, as I said, I expected that there would be more of a fight there. There were signs of it, signs of life toward the end of that first set that have carried over into the start of the second set, and they've already eclipsed their total from the first set as they lead 2-1 while still on serve. I can see the Indonesian captain is less animated now. It seems that he's relaxed. He has a big smile on his face. His players are doing, I think, what he probably was trying to tell them that they needed to do.
Yeah, definitely. He'd be. I would say he would definitely be happy. You know, they would want to try to focus in on holding serve, and then trying to then the next step would be to try to get stuck into at least one of the return games.
Yeah, Barbados has done very well so far in keeping the Indonesians at bay on their own service games. And when you hold your serve very easily, it puts more pressure on the other team to then hold theirs because they're seeing no way past you. We saw that at the US Open. That's what Medvedev was so good at in beating Djokovic. Djokovic was only able to break him for the very first time in the match after being up when Medvedev was up 5-1 or 5-2, up 2 breaks in the third set.
Once again, Hayden made that overhead look ridiculously easy, but that was a lot more difficult than it seemed.
What was behind him?
Just behind him, he had to move laterally, and he would have gone late because initially it looked like Darian was going to take it, but he just saunters over and smashes it. Yeah, that's what he does.
Make no mistake, this is world-class doubles. These four would not be out of place on anyone's TV anywhere in the world playing doubles. They've looked very, very, very good so far.
Yeah, his standard has been high. Oh, a little lucky there. You always feel a bit hard done by the net cord when you're the one whose racket it jumps over when the ball hits it.
Oh, always, always. The Barbadian players would have said sorry there, but that's one of those sorry, not sorry moments.
Definitely. Another good serve, another good volley.
And 40-15, what is looking like it will be, numerically at least, another easy service hold. But the big difference in the second set so far is that the points have been more hotly contested, even though it's 40-15. They've been hotly contested points.
Yeah, and I mean, apart from that one missed return, they definitely would feel more into the points, which is what they want. You're not necessarily, in doubles, you still are, especially against a good serving team, you're at their mercy to a great extent when they're serving, but if you can compete and, you know, try to make sure that they're not getting anything for free, that definitely bodes well for when, on the business end of a competitive set, maybe they'll give you a slight opening that you can try to push your way through.
Yeah, keeping it close is very important. You know, if you keep it close, tennis can come down to 1 or 2 key points.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Darian at the net. He's so patient. Very seldom tries to, like, what many of us would make the mistake of trying to do too much with the volley. He's willing to allow you to hit another one, but just continue to make it difficult. Yeah, well played by the Indonesians there.
Yeah, very well played. But no, you're right when it comes to Darian at the net and being patient. A lot of, and this is something juniors really ought to pay attention to. Patience in tennis, singles or doubles, is very, 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 very important. It can't be overstated. And patience is something that the whole country of Indonesia is exhibiting by fielding such a young team. It can only inure to their benefit long term that these youngsters are getting this experience. Now, it will, in 3-4 years, it will certainly pay off. They're doing a great job so far.
Definitely he'd want that volley back, Ryan.
Oh yes, oh yes. But you know, we're all humans. We make mistakes, and Hayden and Darian's mistakes have been very few and far between.
Definitely.
So they'll give themselves a little slap on the leg and move on, and I'm sure they'll be fine.
Very good return. Very good return. And it's so good to anticipate the movement of his opponent there, because he didn't move much, but was able to really find the line.
Yeah, and I've actually noticed that on forehand returns, Hayden has been hitting a lot of them down the line.
That's a really, really good volley. Take away the time from your opponent by crossing, cutting it off like that.
And keeping it low.
And keeping it low, but do not be fooled. Anyone watching this that saw what Darian just did, that's almost a do not try this at home moment.
Not a club player move there at all.
No, definitely not. Most of us mere mortals, that was sailing well long or wide of the court.
Crossing is good, but the quality of the shot from the Indonesian player was very good. Now again, that's another one that Hayden will want back because it was deuce. Barbados had got stuck into a service game and still stuck in because it's only now advantage, but a second serve return to the forehand, those are the ones you really want to make to
Yeah, that would have relieved a little bit of pressure that was building from up 40-15 to deuce.
Cousins.
That's that touch you were talking about.
Once again, really good hands. Very, very good hands there from Barkey. He's very impressive with his drop shots. He used it to quite good effect in the early stages against Kaipo Marshall yesterday in their singles. And he's hit a couple of really, really nice, not just touch volleys, but also even, you know, off-paced forehands, angles, and different things. He's really shown some good hands here.
Yeah, indeed. And so the score is now 3-2. Indonesia leads. Barbados to serve, though, so still on serve. So what we're seeing here is, again, a more competitive second set. Even though Barbados has not been able to break, though, they have been close in all of the Indonesian service games, and that will continue to mount. Pressure continues to mount once you do that.
Yeah, because even though they have not broken, they have not even looked like if there was a hint of them losing their own serve. So being able to come back from 40-15 down and bring it to deuce in that last game, it still keeps the pressure on, because, you know, when one of the hardest things for even in singles or doubles is when you fight really hard to hold your serve, your opponent wins their serve very quickly, and then all of a sudden you feel that you're serving again.
Yes.
So you're always under pressure in that way.
Yes. Indonesian players are very much on their toes, though. I think that they're heartened that they've been able to stay with the Barbados team so far in this second set.
Good start there from King, good serve. I would say that's the type of return that Barkey would probably want to make, and would maybe even normally make, but very good serve.
Yep, great kick serve, changing the pace on the first serve. When you hit a kick serve like that, you can get more angle, pull the opponents off the court, and mixing up serves and doubles is a very good idea to keep the returners guessing.
Good return, good forehand again. And I would call that an uncharacteristic miss from Lewis, but you know, the Indonesian pair are fighting here. They're trying their best to stay stuck into these return games as much as they can.
Again, very solid, very solid from the Barbados team. You can see that King and Lewis look very relaxed out there. They look very much in their element. As you said, you know, they've been in this situation so many times before, and that experience is invaluable. Another off-pace serve is a little slower, bumps a little higher, so the Barkey was into the shot before it even got to him. It's almost like a slower ball in cricket. Yes, and that was good teamwork from Hayden and Darian. Even though it's just 1 second serve, you could see Hayden give the signal to serve that serve toward the body. All of Darian's serves in that game to Barkey had gone to the forehand, so Hayden called for a little switch up there, and Darian, in switching it up, also switched up the pace and the bounce, and that would have been a huge contributing factor to that miss-hit return there.
3-all.
See Barkey trying his own mix-up for a serve. Again, this one Lewis would have wanted back. It was an excellent deep return, and he had his favorite forehand there and just missed that one in the net. Is Hayden having a slight letdown, maybe?
Yeah, he could possibly relaxing a little more than he'd want to, but still Yeah, it's still in a good place. Score-wise, it's not hurt them, and I don't think that they would feel too much pressure at this point. Still feel very much in control of the match, but he'd want to tighten up, not give too much away. The thing about Hayden Lewis is you could never tell if he was too relaxed because he always looks so relaxed when he's playing.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I like about Hayden. I like he has that loose, languid way, and I really appreciate it. The score hasn't changed on the screen, but it is 30-15. Barkey is serving. Excellent control of the net from Lewis there after the good Darian King return. 30-all now, and these are the big points that we talk about.
Yeah, this is the business end of a game at the business end of a set. So this is the type of turning point that can mean a lot. The pressure would be high here. He knows that he can't afford to lose his serve at this point in the set. Not a lot of room for error, not a lot of room to come back. So, and similarly, Hayden would definitely want to make a very good return here. And that is a well-played point from Lewis and sets up a great point here for Team Barbados.
Yes, you always hear about the all-important 7th game in a set, and the pressure is certainly on you. Even though there are no spectators, you can almost feel the tension.
He gets a little lucky there with a bit of a mishit. But I think that's what he was going for, but I think he ended up a little better than he was planning.
Well, I think it ended up exactly as he was planning.
That's true.
But it was a bit of a mishit, so he was slightly lucky, but it was a difficult shot. Again, Barbados making it tough on the big points.
Very well played. That's a good serve.
Yeah, Barkey's been serving a lot of his first serves to Lewis's forehand, and he's been anticipating them to his credit. But again, when you make first serves on big points, it is even if you know where it's coming, a first serve is much more difficult to return.
Yeah, really good play from Darian there.
And Hayden, because Hayden closed off the net so much that Barkey's shot had to be, he knows it has to be extra good. He's done such a good job at the net so far. And when you close down that space on the net, it makes the baseline player go for even more. So great teamwork from Hayden and Darian.
Yeah, and he would have felt the space cross-court closing, so kind of forced him to gamble at the down the line, which is a much more difficult shot off of a ball like that.
Absolutely.
Another good first serve on this new side. He's really serving well in this game to keep them ahead. I don't think they've faced a break point in this game yet, but
well, they did.
They did
at 30-40.
Yes, true. Yeah, but he's come up with the goods when it mattered the most so far. And two good first serves to close. That's a good hold for the Indonesian pair.
It was an extremely good hold, and I know I can see what led to it. Up to that last deuce, all of Barkey's first serves had been in the middle of the court. He served up the tee on all. And from deuce, he went out wide to Hayden's backhand, which was a change-up. And then on the game point, he went out wide to Darian's backhand again. So the change-ups in the big points would have definitely helped him there with that hold. Change up on big points. When I think of that, I always think of Rafael Nadal, who serves 85% of his serves on the left side to the person's backhand, to the right-hander's backhand. But as soon as it's a really big point, down break point, or it's been a long deuce game and he finally gets game point, you will see him always changing up and going to the forehand. The change up on big points is what really helped the Indonesians there.
Gentlemen, anything that the Barbadians perhaps are not doing now that they did the first set?
I wouldn't say so necessarily. I mean, a few more errors have crept in at different points, but really it is the Indonesians staying with them a bit better than they did in the first set. But I mean, it's still on serve, and so the Barbadians there would be no panicking, there would be no worry even. They know that they have their job to do. They've been here many times, so they will go there with, okay, we hold again, and then we'll break them in the next game.
Yeah, absolutely. And things happened very quickly for Indonesia in the first set. Even though they made first serves, the returns were all down low at their toes, and 2 breaks and 6-1. That was a brilliant first serve.
Yeah, he painted the line with that one.
Again, as Duncan said, you would see one or two little errors starting to creep in, but again, nothing to panic about at this stage.
The fundamentals are still happening. Good first serve. No real room for error for the Indonesians there, so they're still very much in control of these service games.
A very high percentage of first serves.
Well played.
Yep, through the middle. When you get that time, if you can go through the middle in doubles, you will usually get a very good result. 30 all on the Barbados serve. This is probably the best opportunity the Indonesians have had on a service game, and you see them giving a little fist bump there because they know that this is their opportunity.
Yeah, definitely they'd want to capitalize here.
Brilliant change-up body serve by Lewis. Again, big point, you see a bit of a change-up serve.
Yep, definitely.
And that's the experience of Lewis really shining through there for Barbados.
As they hold that, I have a couple of stats, Ryan. And, the first serve percentage for the Barbadian team is 86%.
That is abnormally high.
That's ridiculously high for such good serves to be making them at that pace. And of course, as one would expect, the first serve points won is 81%. So that's definitely the type of percentages that make it very difficult for a team to break your serve.
Yes, indeed. And I see that the Indonesians have been serving their first serves in at 62%, which is a reasonable percentage. You do want it a bit higher in doubles because there will be more change-up first serves than there would be in singles. But 62% is certainly not bad either, but the Barbadians have been very good.
Yeah, there's a bit of a loose return there from Lewis. I don't know. It seems as if he misjudged the pace of it. It seemed it didn't come on to him as quickly as he expected, so he hit it quite far long.
It was a slight mishit. Yeah, you're right. He would want that one back.
He would, but it was a difficult shot because Darian pulled him forward into a position. He did not come forward because he wanted to. He was
You're right.
forced to come forward, and would have, when he comes there, he would be seeing the net and not a lot of space, not a lot of blue for him to hit into
And the ball's
from that place.
below the level of the net too.
That's a good point. That's a good point. They had a couple of shots in that point that were, again, these all four of these men are playing very, very, very high level tennis, making these things look very easy, and they are not.
Yeah, making it difficult for me to keep quiet during the point.
It's true.
Because the quality of the tennis is so high. Barkey's very active at the net.
Oh, that's not what you want at that point. 30-15, you want to try to get an easy hold, but instead it's 30-all, and a break here gives Barbados the chance to serve for the match. So this is a very, very, very crucial point.
As we said, you know, the Indonesians have been put under pressure in every service game so far in this set, and at 30-all, 4-all, we'll see now if that pressure Barbados has put on will be able to tell ultimately.
Second serve.
And you see the frustration there from Lewis.
Yeah, it was a good second serve, but Hayden would definitely feel that, you know, if he gets his strings on a forehand return, he would definitely feel that he should make his opponent play at least, if not hit a much better return that puts them in a difficult position. But 40-30. And that's well handled in terms of the pressure from young Trismawantara. He's only 19 years old, I believe, and he really handled the pressure well there and has given the Indonesians the 5-4 lead on serve here in the second set.
Yep, close set. You know, the Indonesian players are very good players, and even though they've had to struggle a bit on their own service games, to their credit, they've been able to come through. So puts the pressure back on Barbados now. They need to hold in order to stay in the set.
Yeah. Just slightly off of the court, I just wanted to make note of the beautiful expanded National Tennis Center here at the Sir Garfield Sobers Sports Complex. Thanks to the Maria Holder Memorial Trust that has facilitated the expansion here for the Barbados Tennis Association. 3 lovely new courts and expanded clubhouse. It really, really looks good.
Well, we have great accommodations now, thanks to them. The Maria Holder Memorial Trust must be commended on excellent work. This is now becoming a world-class facility where hopefully Barbados can use it to produce more players of the caliber of our current Davis Cup team. And even our past Davis Cup teams. Tennis in Barbados has done very well for the limited resources that we have had to deal with, and we can only thank the trust for helping tennis go further.
And speaking of going further, that was further out than the Indonesians would have wanted. Good first serve and 15-love. And a good reply in the form of a very good return there from Trismuantara. He's really stepped up, I would say, in the last 3-4 games. He's you know, Barkey settled a bit earlier, but he really has stepped up here.
Yeah, Trismuantara has been on his toes. You can see him. You can see him in between points. He's skipping around. He's giving himself and his partner confidence. When you on the tennis court in a doubles match are showing good positive body energy, it feeds to your partner as well. So he's done a very good job with that. Yes, I see Duncan here shaking his head. You guys can't see that because the shots Hayden won that point with a volley, but that point was won by some excellent play from King. I mean, the Indonesians made it really difficult for him, and Darian made it look as though it was easy and nothing at all.
Beautiful first serve. And that's exactly the type of easy hold that has been happening the majority of the time. The last service game, the Indonesians were able to get into a little more, but that one is exactly what they would have wanted, because what the Barbadians would have wanted. Because now, like I said earlier, the Indonesians would have just finished fighting to stay in their own service game, and you know, you turn around twice and you're serving again. So the pressure mounts in that situation, and definitely all to play for here at 5-all.
Absolutely all to play for, and if I were to make a prediction, I wouldn't predict necessarily the outcome of the game, but let's say that this is going to be another long service game. I was also going to predict that the serves were going to come back toward the middle of the court, because that's what Barkey has been doing very well. Again, serving to the middle of the court in doubles is an excellent strategy. It cuts down your opponent's angles that they can use to return.
And he's doing so to great effect. Two very, very good first serves right down the center of the court. No real room for the Barbadians to work with on those returns, and he's up 30-love here.
Trying to make a mockery of my prediction of a long service game.
Hayden's doing his best to keep you in it, Ryan.
Yeah.
Hayden's as a good friend would. He's trying to keep Ryan, you know, defend his honor. And so far, so good. So let's see if Darian can similarly help Ryan out in this one.
Both of them have helped me out many a time.
Both on and off the court.
Yep. Just long there. Darian showing a little frustration, missing a second serve return at 30-15, 5-all. The Indonesian team at the side of the court is becoming very vocal now.
That's a brilliant return.
And I think that showcases why Barkey was serving so many serves toward the center of the court. When you go wide, even when a first serve, say Hayden has such fantastic hands. When you go wide, you open up the angles in doubles. And that's exactly what can happen. 40-30.
That's a magnificent shot there from Darian King. Inside out, angled forehand winner. That is just a beautiful shot.
Those are the ones as a net person that you really hate to see. The man hits a passing shot past you at about 10 miles per hour, and there's nothing that you can do
Absolutely
about it.
nothing you can do to touch it. You see it happening in slow motion and feel powerless.
Yeah, so you see from 40-15, 2 serves out wide, 2 points to Barbados.
And he heard you. and went straight back to a beautiful tee. Big first serve there. One of the few aces that they've been able to get in this match, and at a crucial time.
Yep. Handling the pressure really well is Barkey.
Oh, that is, he would want that back.
Oh yes, that was a chance to win the game and make Barbados play for a tiebreaker in order to win the set. That was right there on his racket.
Absolutely. I will say if they lose this game, he's going to have some nightmares about that shot again.
Oh yeah. I remember some of my own bad shots from over the years,
Yeah.
and that would have been one of them for sure.
Definitely. Another really, really good serve.
Second serve ace.
Second serve ace down the tee bar. He has really, really served well in this match.
And his serving has been world class, no doubt about it.
Oh, he was going wide again, Ryan.
Yep, change up on the big points.
And they're able to hold. So you got your long game, but the Indonesians are able to hold. The Barbadians now have to, again, to serve to keep in, to stay in this set and to force a tiebreaker.
Right. And you would have to think that if it does get to a tiebreaker, and the odds are very high that it will, that Barbados probably would be the favorites to win the tiebreaker, just because they've been winning more points on serve than the Indonesians have. I'm saying that without looking at the statistics, but I'm quite certain that it would bear out. You can see, looking at the stats now, receiver points won, 26% for Indonesia, 36% for Barbados.
Yeah, and then really that's the stat that matters, I would say, even more for a tiebreaker, because you really only need to win 1 or 2 points on your opponent's serve, and you can comfortably win a tiebreaker as long as you are being quite dominant on your own. So the Barbadians will look to hold here to force a tiebreak. So they still have a little work to do before they get there, but based on how they've held up till this point, one would anticipate that they will look to serve out an easy game here as much as possible.
Yep. Indonesia has had 0 break points for the match.
Yeah, at some point earlier in the set.
Well, pressure on here now, 15-30.
As we kind of poured the stats a little further, we realized that the Barbadians have faced 2 break points in this match so far, but they're going to try to avoid facing another one here. And that's the way to do it.
That's an incredible serve under pressure from Lewis. It is what I would expect from him, though. He is known as a server, and servers under pressure are known to fight really hard, and that's when their best serves come out.
And once again, a good serve, and a little bit of a change up there as well. He happened a bit of a body serve, slightly off paced, made it difficult for Barkey to get hold of it.
And now a chance here for Barbados to send this second set to a tiebreaker. Very uncharacteristic miss from King there.
And you saw his reaction. He was not happy with that at all. But one of the good things about both of these players, and all the players at this level, is their ability to shake off those types of errors and regroup and go again. Makes no mistake there. Really good serve again from Lewis, and Darian is able to capitalize at the net.
As you said, short memory, shook it off. 2 good volleys, and Barbados is back in the same position. Chance to carry this set to a tiebreaker. Well left by King, great serve from Lewis, and we have a tiebreaker in the second set. A bit closer than I thought it was going to be.
I would say that I said I would expected much of the same from the first set. That's what I said at the beginning of this set, and they proved me wrong. But I did give a caveat that when asked what the Indonesians needed to do, and it was that they needed to capitalize on every opportunity, and I would say that they've done a really good job of not allowing the Barbadians to run away with anything for free. They've taken every time that they've been given a slight free point, they've taken it, created some momentum, been able to hold serve 6 times consecutively, well 7 including the first set, and now we have a tiebreaker to decide this second set. Oh dear.
Yeah, the pressure tends to tell in tiebreakers.
Yes, it definitely does, and that's not the start that they would be looking for here. Definitely the start the Barbadians would love, because that puts them up a mini break, and 1 point to love here in this second set tiebreaker.
Yes, and what that mini break means, for those of you who don't know, is that once Barbados wins all of their points on their serve from here on out, they would win the tiebreaker. In the first 2 points, we have a first serve from Barbados and a double fault from Indonesia. And even though the score is 6-all, that is a tell of how the set has gone in terms of how the pressure has built up.
And Darian gives back the mini break, Ryan. That's seemed he thought that first ball was going long, and it kind of threw him a little bit, but still a bit of an uncharacteristic miss there.
And I think Hayden thought it was going long too. I think Hayden left it because it's a shot he could have taken.
That's a really, really, really good forehand there from Barkey.
Phenomenal angle created there.
He has shown some excellent touch, really good angles, and very, very good serving under pressure. It's now 2-all here in the tiebreak at the National Tennis Center.
Yeah, if I were an Indonesian, I would be very pleased with the state of these youngsters' tennis.
Another good serve, good volley. Lewis is unable to keep that lob in, and we're on serve here in this tiebreaker. 2-3, Barbados to serve.
And battle is very much on. And you can see that the Indonesian players have got some confidence now.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why gifts are so. When you give a gift in a tiebreaker, it can really cost you. So that double fault that was gifted to Barbados, unfortunately Darian gifted it right back with a missed forehand. So we're on serve and all to play for. No mistake there. Another good serve, another good volley, and 3-all, and the players will switch sides now. They switch every 6 points in the tiebreaker.
Drink a little water.
After that smash from Darian just now, that was another sorry, not sorry.
Absolutely.
What kind of apology was that?
We are very courteous, but I would admit that we're a bit pretentious as tennis players, because we apologize when we hit the ball close to you. We apologize when it hits the net tape, but we're really not sorry. We're very happy to win the point, or even to hit our opponent. Is one of those things that it is the etiquette of the game. But
yes, it's supposed to be a gentleman's sport. It was created in England, as many sports were, like football. But yeah, sorry, not sorry.
another good serve and good couple volleys for Darian King. So that is now 3-4, 4-3. Barbados is up. Still on serve here in the tiebreaker. Indonesia to serve. Trisman Wantara, I believe, is to serve now in the next 2 points. So again, getting to the business end of this tiebreaker now. Every point is just a little bit more pressure. And Darian put the pressure squarely on. Coming into the net there really closes the windows of opportunity to hit a good shot, and you feel that you're running out of options. And then it is up a mini break now. 5-3 for Barbados, 2 points away from securing this doubles rubber and going up 2-1.
Second serve here.
And again, that's his second double fault in this tiebreaker. The pressure is really mounted on him. Unfortunately for him, he has gifted Barbados three match points.
And with the experience of King to serve and Lewis at the net, this is a golden opportunity for Barbados to win right now.
And that was just brilliant, brilliant tennis from King to retrieve that ball. I mean, that was, you're just thinking he's completely out of it, and he shouts me, and he gets there, puts up a good lob, and Lewis finishes it
Really good match overall, Ryan.
Oh, brilliant match. Excellent level of tennis. The Indonesians will be heartened by the fact that their youngsters fought back in that second set after being taken out of it in the first. And the Barbadians will be pleased. They've taken the lead in the tie 2-1 and have become firm favorites now to win this tie overall. But excellent match indeed. Great officiating, great sportsmanship between the players, and you could even see the smiles of the Indonesians after the match, even though they lost. They're certainly going to be heartened by that performance.
Yeah, I would say that it argues very well for Indonesian tennis, because when I was looking up the players before the tie started, I noticed they have a higher ranked player who is not here present, and I thought, well, they may have been disheartened by that. If this is their second and third best players, then I would say Indonesian tennis is definitely in good hands. They're looking very strong. Even with a lack of experience, they've shown that they belong at this level, and they're willing to compete and do well. So good. Still, they have a lot of positives to take, but the tie looks very positive for Barbados. The next match on will be Darian playing the #1 singles against Justin Barkey, and he would be firm favorite to take that one.
Okay, and how long between matches do they get?
I believe it is half an hour, but that's something I would have to get some official correction on. But I believe they have at least a half an hour break before they have to come back out on the court to play that singles match. So Barbados is one rubber away from clinching this tie here in the Davis Cup by Rakuten World Group 2 first round here at the National Tennis Center in Barbados.
Fantastic work, guys, and a great analysis all throughout from both of you. Now let's recap a bit. The first set ended 6-1 to the Barbadians, 6-1 to the home side. Tell me your biggest takeaways from that first set.
For me, it was the first serve percentage of the Barbadians and the returns. Because even when Indonesia was making their first serves, the Barbadians were able to get the returns in consistently low down at the toes of the Indonesians, making them have more difficult second shots to hit. And so it was really just the fundamentals. And those two breaks of serve, they happened very quickly. And things can happen very quickly in doubles, even if the teams are technique-wise and ability-wise are reasonably closely matched. Things can happen very quickly, and they did. The home team was a bit more settled, a bit more relaxed, and it wasn't any special strategy, but the Barbadians were really executing the fundamentals as well as they possibly could have. I mean, it was almost flawless from them.
Duncan, major differences between the first set and the second set for you?
Yeah, it was a bit of a combination, or I would say one thing led to another. I think that the Indonesians really settled down. Winning that one game near the end of the first set gave them a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum, so that they were able to then hold serve, even though having to fight through every single service game. They were able to hold serve, came up with some clutch big serves, and they also got a little more stuck into a couple of return games. I would say the Barbadians did give them a few more gifts in the second set than they did in the first set. As Ryan said, was close to flawless from the Barbadian side, but in the second set they gave them a few more gifts, but really it was just a really well contested second set, and it really just came down to the ability to handle the pressure in that tie-break situation, and knowing that the pressure had mounted significantly more on the Indonesian side of the court because of how the Barbadians were holding serve. I mean, as we looked at the stats, and the Barbadians didn't face a break point in the second set, and whereas the overall in the entire match the Barbadians had 26 break points. So that really just shows you the difference in how the service games were played out. But overall, really good win for Barbados, and a really good second set, good closing out in the end. I mean, as Ryan had said earlier, sometimes it comes down to just one or two important points, and unfortunately, two of those really important points were double faults from young Tristan Wantara in the tiebreaker.
Ryan, a bit of a more focused word on a good friend of yours, Hayden Lewis, 36 years old, coming in with all the experience, and he certainly made it count. Great serves, great returns as well. Give me a more detailed analysis of his performance and his impact for Barbados this morning.
Well, Hayden is a treasure. At 36 years old, once upon a time would have been ancient in tennis years, but we've seen these days that players like Roger Federer is 40 years old, even though he's a bit injured now. Players have been doing well into their 30s, and Hayden has been so good for so long. Duncan commented that he was in the top 400 or 500 in the world in singles at one point, and I would argue that his skill level certainly I would have placed him at least inside the top 200, maybe top 150 at his at the peak of his efforts. And Hayden has done a lot of good work off the court to keep himself physically fit. He's done a lot of yoga, and you can see his work coming out on the court. I mean, his first serve percentage in that first set was ridiculous. His service returns were fantastic. Yes, I mean, just like any other player, as a human being, you will have a few errors and, a few unforced errors. And those did creep in a little bit in the second set. But Hayden's maturity, his calmness, his, knowing what to do on the court, he was brilliant today. He was brilliant today. And in the big moments, I mean, in tennis, you're always going to be playing against, as the levels go up, your opponents are going to be as good as you are, right? There's not that much difference in terms of skill between the number 400 in the world and the number 1. There really is not that much difference in terms of skill. It is being focused and doing the right things in the big moments, and that's what Hayden did a fantastic job of.
And I will also want to comment that Hayden has a tendency to step just a level up when he puts on a shirt that has Barbados on the back of it. Anytime that he has played for Barbados, he just always seems to find another gear and really perform extremely well. He's been just really incredibly good for Barbados for many years at Davis Cup level, and so we're very grateful and happy to have been able to witness it.
But I think with AJ Hayden though, I just thought about it. I think Hayden's 35. I don't think he's 36. I am 37. My brother is 36. Hayden's 35.
He might be still 35.
He's 35.
So he'll turn 36 in January.
The 2nd of January.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry for AJ, you Hayden.
He was born in 1986.
1986, correct. January 2nd, 1986.
Well, he still moves well for an old man.
Well, I'm not sure who the old man is because he's just a little younger than Ryan and I. So I would say that that is.
You guys are old men too.
I think we're gonna have to mute his mic, Ryan. I think that his microphone is gonna have to turn off pretty soon.
Give me that insider view in between games, because Darian just competed in the doubles, high level intensity, and now he just has a bit of a break before he competes against Justin Barkey very momentarily. So tell me about what happens, what do the players do in between? Obviously they hydrate. Do they get a massage? Do they go in the sauna? What do players do in between there?
They're definitely, as you said, hydrate. Maybe get a light snack, a little bit of fruit to eat just to keep the sugars high. Maybe get a bit of a light massage just to keep the body feeling good. But really, it's just rest, recuperate as much as you can for the short time, but you don't want to get too cold almost, because you then have to warm up again to go. So.
So I think we're going to wrap up for now. There's going to be a post-match press conference, and then it's going to be right back to work. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We'll be back with you for the next the reverse singles match.
Give it to ya. For me, I'm just happy to get the result. Yeah, congrats to me and Hayden. Obviously, this is 2 years we haven't played. 2 years, I think, that we haven't played, and we broke the losing streak. So we had some tough matches, and now, I mean, I'm happy, as I said, that we got the win, and obviously to get up to one in this tie.
Okay, do we have any further questions?
Just one other quick question from me. Darian, you just came off the course for double. You're going into singles now against Barkey, if I'm not mistaken. You had a feel for him there in the doubles. So, what is your confidence levels going into this singles match now?
For me, as I always say, the same thing I keep telling you guys, go out there, play my game. A lot of high first serve percentages, be aggressive when I can, and be steady on the baseline when I can. So to me, I'm not focusing upon him. I'm focusing on my game right now, and yeah, may the best guy win.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the National Tennis Center, where we have coverage of World Group 2 tie between Barbados and Indonesia in this Davis Cup presented by Rakuten. And earlier this morning, the team of Darian King and Hayden Lewis, they defeated Gunawan Trismuwantara and Justin Barkey by a score of 6-1, 7-6. And now this is the decisive match between Barkey and King. And if King is successful, the Barbadians will take a 3-1 lead and ultimately conquer this tie. So we are hoping, as the home team, we are hoping that King can produce some of his customary masterful performances and get Barbados the win here. I am rejoined on commentary by Ryan Mosley
3 minutes.
and Duncan Everson. Done ever so well in that first match, and they're ready to go again.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this reverse singles, we have representing Barbados, Darian King. And representing Indonesia, Justin Barkey. Our chair umpire for this match, Kasia Radwancho from Poland.
Thank you for the introduction again, Nicholas. It is a pleasure to be back here with you at the National Tennis Center at the Cigarfield Sober Sports Complex in Wilde, St. Michael, Barbados. The wind looks like it may have picked up a little bit from the doubles match this morning, but the players should be fine dealing with the conditions. As we mentioned before, this complex has recently expanded, and that was facilitated by the Maria Holder Memorial Trust. And the accommodations significantly upgraded. It's a beautiful facility that we have here to bring the commentary for the action this afternoon now.
King and Barkey going through their warm-up routine. We know what we can expect from both of these guys. We've seen both of them in singles competition so far. Both of them yesterday. Both of them successful yesterday as well. So what will be the key for, first of all, the visiting Barkey? What will be the key for him to probably get the advantage over King, a player that you know well?
Well, Darian is a notoriously difficult person to beat. He's very fast. He gets back a lot of balls that most players would not be able to get back. So Barkey's probably going to try to use the fact that he's left-handed to create a lot of angle maybe towards Darian's backhand to try to run him off the court so he can open up the court to hit some winners. getting past Darian, as I said, very, very, very difficult. So he's going to want to make a lot of first serves to get some easy opportunities. And he will want to be aggressive on his return game as well. Darian is not known as a huge server, but Darian does have an excellent serve, and he mixes it up very well. But if I were Barkey, I would be looking to be as aggressive as possible on my return game.
And we hope for not too much wear and tear on both players, so that we can have a truly enthralling encounter.
Yeah, the good thing is that they both played the doubles just now, so they're in the same position. Barkey to serve. And that's the 1-2, the serve and forehand that Barkey will want to rely on. Use that left-hander serve to pull his opponent off the court and then go for the open court with the forehand.
Duncan Everson, any words from you yet?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. No words from me yet. I think that Barkey has shown that he's going to mount a challenge. He's the type of player that will fight. So we'll have to see if he can make any inroads.
We're seeing that early strategy of trying to open up the court so that Barkey can use his forehand then to go into the open court to make inroads, and that's exactly what he's been doing so far, and to good effect.
Yeah, very good first game there from Barkey. He's going to need to be aggressive. The tactics he used quite successfully yesterday, playing against Kaipo Marshall, was allowing the younger Marshall to bring the game to him, allowing him to make a lot of errors. But that would not be a good plan, because Darian is not going to give him very many errors in that way. So I think that he's going to try to be a lot more aggressive, which he's shown so far, and he has the weapons to do it, to be honest. He has a very good serve, very good forehand. So it is up to him to take the game to Darian, who, with his vast amount of experience, would feel very confident going into this match.
And see, singles is a totally different game than doubles. This is a completely different dynamic, totally different strategies. And we'll have to exercise some patience in seeing what the players decide to do. You'll see that Barkey is, especially on the second serve, he's coming in to return inside the baseline because he does want to be aggressive. At 40 love to king, he's done a great job of protecting his serve so far.
Yeah, two easy holes, easy hole for each player. I think that in these early stages, having both just come off of the doubles, it's very likely we'll see them work their way into this match, get themselves physically back warm, and feeling comfortable moving and swinging. I don't think anybody's going to try to do anything too strenuous, if I want to use that word. Nothing too crazy in these early exchanges. Just take care of your own serve, and then look as you get more comfortable and a little warmer, then look to put some more pressure on your opponent's serve. Darian in particular is well known for being very strategic in how he works out his opponents, finds their weaknesses and exploits them. So in these early stages, even points he loses, he's learning. Very nice shot.
Yeah, you can almost see him learning as his matches go on. As you can see, he hasn't been really trying anything so far on the returns, just getting them in, and Barkey's been taking advantage of that and being very aggressive. A good serving by Barkey so far. And 40-15, another chance for an easy hold.
Very good serving, good serve, good forehand. He has some good weapons, does Justin Barkey. So far, so good on his end in terms of his serve. He's up 2-1 on serve here in the first set of this reverse singles. A critical match for the Indonesians. This do or die for them. They have to win this to stay in this tie. And of course, Darian has been in this position many times in terms of having to close out a match for Barbados to win a Davis Cup tie.
I would love to see Darian's statistics on those closeout matches. I think I can only remember him losing one of those.
Yeah, it's not many.
No.
It's not many for sure. But I think we could say that about any matches he's played. He's not lost many Davis Cup matches for Barbados, regardless of the situation. So,
or the level of competition.
but definitely. He's had some very, very legendary performances, even highlighted by the ITF at different points for the number of matches he won over the course of a year for Barbados. So,
yes,
has definitely done really well in a Barbados shirt. Both players almost going through the motions on their serve. Is, not a lot to see so far. Easy holds all the way.
And that's right. Neither player troubled so far. Both look very relaxed, and as Duncan said, they're going to be feeling each other out in these early stages.
No, didn't miss by much. Was an ambitious shot. Would have been really good if he'd made it, but he didn't. So it's 40 love. King looking like he's gonna get another easy hold. And he does.
Yes, and you will expect to see a few more unforced errors from Barkey than from King, as he's going to need to be aggressive if he wants to try to win. And inevitably, when one is trying to be that aggressive, there will be more unforced errors.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to mentally manage that as a player. You have to know, well, this is my game plan. I'm going to miss a bit more, but I know that I'm backing myself to make more than I miss, so that I can take advantage of what opportunities exist. And I think that is a nice example of what you spoke of, Ryan, where shots that are winners or produce easy shots from a lot of other players, Darian is able to get there and puts you in a difficult position. You're not going to expect to hit a half volley close to the net off of a ball like that.
Exactly. Yep, he left that one and it dropped in. And Barkey is going to try to be aggressive with the serve and volley there. But there's not much wind, but even with a little bit of wind, a shot in that direction can drop in when you think it's going out.
And once again, now that is a bit better of a return than we've seen Darian hit. He was kind of chipping back or blocking back a little bit, but that one he put a little more into it to create that, what I would call a forced error from Barkey, and set himself up for love 40. 3 break points here to take command of this set. Good first serve from Barkey. He serves well under pressure, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. You see, I would love to see his under pressure first serve.
Advanced analytics.
Advanced analytics.
And that is the break that Darian would have wanted. I would even venture to say that he may not have even have been looking for it, but is more of a taking the opportunity when it presented itself at love 15, when Barkey left that ball that he thought was going out, or maybe hoped was going out. Then that opened the door, and then Darian squeezed just a little bit more.
I think that is perfect analysis. We saw 2 serve and volleys there from Barkey in that game. I wonder if that's going to be a big part of the strategy going forward. And he was probably buoyed by the fact that, as you said, in his first 2 service games, Darian would have been just blocking back and chipping back returns, which would have made his serve and volley look like a better tactic. But as soon as Darian saw a little bit of an advantage, you're right, he did start to press and go for a bit more in his returns. And serve and volley tactic did not work there. Great return from Darian and made it easy passing shot back behind the player.
Yeah, I think the serve and volley is probably not a bad tactic generally, because he's not going to want to get into particularly long exchanges with Darian. That doesn't tend to bode well for Darian's opponent as the points go on longer. But you know that you're taking a little bit of a trip to Las Vegas when you're serving and volleying against a returner of Darian's caliber.
Especially if you do it too regularly, and he will look for it.
That's a really, really good play.
Lovely shot.
Darian's court recognition is that innate ability to know when to come forward. I mean, his shot was short. As you were saying, it was a short forehand that Darian had hit, but he recognized that his opponent wasn't going to be able to take the ball on the rise. It was going to have to bring it up from below the level of the net from a deep position in the court. So he came into the net and was able to take advantage of the volleys. Excellent court recognition. Sorry, not sorry.
And that's as home court an advantage as you could want. The net knows who and where it is situated.
Yep, Barbados net. King put up his hand in apology.
Hashtag apology in inverted commas.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
That's correct. That's a brilliant serve. Barkey seems to think that it was long, but it was called in. And the officiating has been quite good in this
Excellent
Davis Cup tie.
Flawless.
No, you never want to double fault, but if you're going to double fault, like 40-15 is probably one of the best times to do it.
Second best.
Second best time.
Best time would be 40 low.
That's correct. And he follows it up with a really good serve, and that's a strong hold. They say it's not a break until you hold. So Darian solidifies his break to take a 4-2 lead in this first set of the reverse singles.
And Barbados in a very strong position now. Now that serve up the tee on the left side from Darian, I can see that was particularly giving Barkey trouble, and I think it's because the toss is still slightly to his left, which makes it look like it is going to be a wide serve, but Darian does a very good job at bringing that back down the tee.
Yeah, I think his serve is deceptively fast as well. It comes onto you a little faster than it looks like it should, almost. And as you said, if you as a returner you try to read the toss, read different things, and it's clearly very difficult to read Darian's serve because he will toss it in that exact same position and serve it out wide.
Yep.
And if you notice, Darian pressed a little more on that return. He stepped in, took it early, and never really gave up any room off of the baseline, and had Barkey on the back foot for that entire point.
And Duncan taking the words out of my mouth, reading my mind. This exactly what he did. We'll see if he does it on the right side as well if he gets a second serve. Let's look for it. He did the opposite. He went even further back to make sure that he made the return.
Gave himself a lot of time to take a good swing, make sure it was a heavy ball for Barkey to play with. And Barkey, to his credit, he noticed the distance that Darian made off of the baseline and went for the drop shot, but you know, he would have seen the speed that Darian has, and he knows that that drop shot had to be near perfect.
Attempted serve and volley there.
That's really good play from Darian.
Excellent hands. And you see, he stepped back again for the second serve return there. And that's what a good returner will do as well. He will mix up what the server gets to look at so that, you know, the server is always having to try new and different things in order to get early inroads into the point.
He's coming in again. Well, to good effect this time. Good serve.
Yeah, and that come in, as Darian is so far back, he would have been able to see that his opponent was coming in. So he would have forced Darian to try to go for a little more on the return. So good strategy there from Barkey. Still a break point for King to take a 5-2 lead in this first set.
And that is one of the things that's tough playing against a returner of Darian's caliber. That was a huge first serve, and Darian neutralizes it with a good deep return. And you essentially, after serving such a big serve, you really just want to be taking a short forehand and finishing the point, but instead you're starting from scratch, and it's difficult to start from scratch and not get impatient and go for too much. And we see the result, 5-2, Barbados up in a commanding position to serve for this first set.
Yeah, and it looks like Darian isn't doing anything special, but you can see the special things that he does. Returning a serve like that, we don't have a speed gun here, but I'm certain that would have been 120 miles per hour, maybe more. And Darian is able to neutralize it and, as I said, make him start the point all over again. And, you know, with his speed and his ability to make so many balls, it is forcing young Barkey to really go for his shots, and the errors will come when that happens.
Yeah, one of the key things is, generally speaking, the server is the person that dictates what is happening in the game. But as we were mentioning earlier, Darian was to a great extent dictating with his positioning, forcing Barkey to respond. And even, you know, a few times he served and volleyed at a good time. But if you as a returner are being the one to dictate, then that's definitely putting you in a strong position. Saw quite a lot of drop shots in his match against Kaipo Marshall yesterday. In the early stages, they were very effective, but so far he's not been able to use one, make one, and win a point here against Darian.
You see, again, he's having to go for a lot, or he's deciding to go for a lot from a position behind the baseline, going for that inside-in forehand. And that's never going to be a high percentage play from there.
That's a
the Indonesian player got a code violation warning there, I think, for indecent language.
Thankfully, on this family show, we were not able to hear what he said.
King serving for the set, up 30-15. Is upset to even lose 1 point. It's like he's has him down on the ground and wants to keep him there.
Yeah, that's what good players do. They once they get on top of you, they're looking to put their proverbial foot in your neck.
Again, King's consistency just proving a bit much for Barkey right now. 2 set points.
And that's the first set. Comfortable first set win there for Darian. 6 games to 2. 2 breaks of serve. Never looked in trouble on his own serve. Exactly what he would have been wanting to do here. He said during the week before the play began that he wanted to prove that he still had it, and I think he has proven just that here so far in the early going.
Yes, I think that there's no doubt that he still had it, but the thing is that a lot of people who may not be au fait with tennis and its inner workings may not appreciate how well he is still doing. He played the US Open qualifying, and yes, he lost in the first round, but who did he lose to? He lost to a guy called Lucas Pouille, who has been top 30 in the world and was coming off of an injury himself. So the level of tennis at the US Open qualifying is extremely high, and I think Pouille qualified. I think he played through and qualified and made it to the main draw, as you would expect a former top 30 player to do, and Darian only lost to him in 3 very close sets. So his form is good, and you would expect him to be the favorite against young Barkey in a match like this, and he, to his credit, he's performing exactly as one would expect if one really knows and understands the workings of tennis. People tend to only recognize winners and wins, and it's a lot of what have you done for me lately. But King has had a wrist surgery, and these things can be extremely difficult to come back from. The margins at the very top of the game are extremely small, and I certainly would not count him out yet.
Yeah, definitely. He played through that injury for quite a long time. And so when we saw his results were not looking like what we would like to do, a lot of people didn't know that he was injured for a lot of that period.
And tennis is a very physical sport. At the top of the game, I would venture to say that no player is playing without some sort of minor injury at any given time, but his injury was significant.
Correct.
Well done by Barkey there. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be able to take advantage of the short ball, any short balls that he gets. I mean, those can be few and far between against Darian, but he needs to be patient and wait for the right opportunity to attack.
And he needs a few more serves like that. That's a really good first serve for an ace.
Yes, of course. A high first serve percentage and some patience. It's
a good start for Barkey here in this second set. took care of business in his first service game.
He's trying to fire himself up.
He has to. He has to. He doesn't want to. He can't afford to drop his head because he lost the first set. He has to keep fighting all the way through. And Darian will still remain relaxed. He knows, that first set is finished. And as you saw in the doubles, the first set score and the second set score can look very, very different. So he is basically love all again. Now love one on serve. And he has a job to do here in the second set to bring it home for Barbados. He went for the aesthetics, I would say there.
Yes, coming in on a shot like that, the high percentage play is a down the line play, but King was kind of covering that, almost forcing him to go for the showtime. But those long points, you would think that Darian would be the favorite to win most of them, and even though it's on his own serve, he won't mind playing those long points. Those are the points that he breaks the proverbial backs with.
Such a good volley, such a good approach. Just really good court vision, ability to read where his opponent was going to go and put away a volley.
And after winning a long point like that, you want to be able to show that you can also give that big 1-2 punch, and it's a solid combination to break the opponent's psyche. Tough miss there from King, but he was on top of that point, and he'll be happy with not with the outcome, but he will be happy with the way that he is being able to maneuver his opponent and kind of have the opponent on a string, so to say.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be happy that he's in control of the points. That was well played. Well played there from Barkey. He's creating some good angles out of that backhand. Stretched King a little more than he wanted to be.
And we have a big point now coming up at 30-all. I don't think the King serve has been under much pressure at all so far.
Yeah, I think this is the closest to a pressure game on Darian's serve that we've seen. He wouldn't want to lose it, not like that. But again, the little bit of scoreboard pressure that he was able to apply, Darian has handled and now has game point. And that's what he wanted to do a little earlier. Great hands. Set that up beautifully with the approach. And hold serve for 1-all.
It was a nice looking passing shot from Barkey, but King was able to get there and hit one of those drop volleys that rolled before it reached the service line. I love to see those.
Yeah, definitely. Just drops and dies. No chance of anybody getting even a sniff of that.
When I think of that shot, I think of Joe Wilfried Tsonga from France.
Except he probably would have dove.
Oh yeah, he would have
rolled.
Yes, he would have. He would have. He's one for the flair.
That's a nice shot there. Slight change up from Barkey there to change the angle and go a bit bigger down the line with that backhand. I think he wrong-footed Darian slightly there.
And you see what he's doing though? He's now doing that on the third or fourth shot. So he's exercising a bit more patience and playing himself into the match.
Just wide.
Not by much. 2 inches, 3 inches.
Good idea. Good idea. He, even though he missed it, he still shows his intent. He's gonna be aggressive, but as we said earlier, he has to be willing to take the misses. Beautiful serve.
Yeah, he's carried over that good serving from the doubles into this match, but well, what's going on here? Little interplay between the players. Little smile from Barkey. All is well.
Another good point from Barkey, taking the backhand early and going up the line with it to good effect. He's being aggressive, which is what we said he needed to do, and he's doing it well in this game. Up 40-15. But as you said, Ryan, he's showing just a little more patience, and it's working for him. Yeah, just wide. Just wide.
We might have needed the electronic calling that you see at the US Open this year to really get an opinion on that, because I think you thought it might have been just wide. I thought it was just in.
There you go. Hawkeye would be needed.
Yeah, Hawkeye would definitely be needed for that one. That was a very, very, very close call. But you know, you play to the calls, and some will go for you, some will go against you, and it usually evens out. You know, when you have human beings doing the job, there will be mistakes from time to time, and you have to live with it. You have to move on, roll with the punches.
And one of the things that the Hawkeye system really has shown as well is, yes, it's shown and given players the ability to overcome some of the errors made by the officials, but it also has shown how often the players are adamant that they're correct about the call being in or out, and then the Hawkeye comes and shows that the official got it right.
Yep, very much so. And I think that when King and Barkey had that little interplay after the Barkey ace, I think it was because King might have thought it was out. And I'm only speculating here because I really couldn't hear what he had to say, but serve looked to me, I'm sitting right on the line, and it looked very good to me.
It did to me as well. But, you know, with King's personality, a little banter keeps him in the right mood.
punishing point from King.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that is, once you get on the proverbial yo-yo, you're running side to side, and you know you really don't have a shot of winning this point, but you still have to keep running.
Underrated thing about King there is after the long punishing point where he runs his opponent side to side, he found himself back at the line to play the next point immediately, putting additional pressure. Probably a contributing factor to the first ball error from young Barkey.
Yeah. His fitness level is very, very high.
He knows how to exploit other people's fitness levels and breathing. A little bit of slap footwork there from King. I mean, when you're leading, sometimes you can take your foot off the gas. He won't be happy with that. But as I said, you know, just 1 point, and when you're up 30 love, not a bad time to have a slight lapse.
Yeah, but what Barkey will want to do is take full advantage of any lapse that Darian gives to him. We think he'll feel that that's what he needs to do. But again, that point is one of those ones where you on the surface of it, Darian kept hitting to the same place, but each time Barkey is a little more stretched because he's looking and trying to cover the other side of the court. So it ends up being a pretty tired-looking miss in the end.
Another easy hold for King. Barkey hasn't found a way to make King's service games difficult. As King goes to the sideline to change his shirt very quickly. It is hot out here.
And humid.
I'm sitting under a roof and I'm still sweating.
Yes. And we have a bit of breeze, but I think we'd need a bit more AC, more than the breeze that is taking place. So on the court it would be extremely hot, hot and sticky, as one may say. So a quick change of the shirt, feel a little more comfortable, and see if you can stick into this serve and get a break.
Yes, the break in the first set came at 2-all, and we'll see if that trend if that repeats itself and becomes a trend here in the second set.
That's a really, really good shot. Darian took that serve quite early, but didn't get the return as deep as he would have wanted, and Barkey took good advantage, was able to come up with a beautiful backhand winner cross court.
Yeah, if you come that far inside the baseline to make your return and you go down the line, it makes it, if you don't get it deep enough, it does make it easy for the opponent to get the winner into the open court with a natural cross court angle.
Another good serve, just into the body a little bit.
And a chance for a rare easy hold for Barkey.
And he does.
Yeah, and that was well done, because you said King was trying to press by coming inside the court to hit those returns, and Barkey responded well.
Yeah, definitely. That would be That would be exactly what he wanted. Would give him a good boost of confidence going forward as we enter into what is termed, as I've said many times, the business end of this set as we get into 3-2, 3-all or 4-2 around the 6th, 7th games of any set are typically crucial. And so going in, leading there, holding serve, and a comfortable hold at that would definitely give him some confidence going into returning and trying to get a break here.
Yeah, and he needs this. Indonesia needs this, because if they lose this set, it's all over. Back against the wall and he's fighting. You can see the Davis Cup captain for Barbados on the changeovers putting ice on the back of King's neck, and the Indonesian player I was seeing, he was mixing drinking water with what looks like an energy drink. It really is hot out there.
Yeah, so trying to stay cool, trying to stay hydrated. The conditions they'd both be accustomed, because the climate in Indonesia is quite similar to what it is here, hot and humid. But being accustomed doesn't make it any more comfortable.
I think I agree with the umpire there.
That's not a good miss. That's a well-played point from both players. Darian really, opened up the court with that forehand, and you would say that was a relatively easy volley. Maybe he was trying to do too much with it.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe he thought he had the point one and just. He just might have taken his eye off it at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
You know those volleys slightly above shoulder height, if you're not close enough into the net, can be a little tricky. They're a little trickier than they may look. And great serving from Darian has put him in a strong position to hold now in this game, 30-15.
That's a good shot on the run there from Barkey. I think that Darian thought it was long based on how he's reacting, but called good, and a good shot on the run would have painted the line if it was in, forced Darian into an error. 30-all. Well played there from Barkey. Good drop shot, good lob to follow it up. He's definitely shown he has good hands, and he has earned himself a break point here. First one that Darian has faced in this match.
Yes, and that drop shot was better from a tactical standpoint because he hit it from inside the baseline. He was in an aggressive position when he hit it. So we'll see how King now responds to the first real bit of pressure that he's faced.
That was a little bit more of an Atlantic City drop shot.
Yes. Las Vegas. Ill-advised. Ill-advised. He was on or about the baseline when he hit that one, but
not in a dominating position in any way. So just kind of hoping that he could throw Darian off with it. But when you hope in that type of position, you have to get it near perfect for it to work. So he didn't, and we're at deuce again.
worst time for the double fault. Not the worst, second worst.
Second worst time. Second to worst time. You definitely don't want to be gifting your opponent break points when they haven't had a sniff really before that. So
great comeback.
but that's how you erase break points. Yeah. Big serve, well placed. Barkey would kick himself a little. You feel that he should have made that return. But we're back at deuce. Let's see who's able to come up with the goods on this point. Yeah, a few errors creeping in during this game. Barkey's trying to get the Indonesian contingent to get a little bit more vocal. He's got a third break point in this game. And that's a really, really, really well played point there from Barkey. He has shown great ability to take advantage. He stepped forward into a couple of those backhands and really hit them. He's shown good aggression, and it has paid off. He's now up a break in this second set in a pretty commanding position, 4-2 up and serving. Darian will be kicking himself a little bit. He'll know that he gave a few gifts in that game, and he'll have to work here to erase that break with a break of his own. And he's confident now.
Yes, he's definitely playing with some confidence. You said a break is not a break until you hold after. So we will see how this game goes right now, but I suspect that Darian will make him play for it.
Oh, just wide. That was almost a brilliant shot. His backhand down the line has been doing some damage, Ryan.
Absolutely. Forehand down the line to the down the line shots. He's been able to change direction on the ball quite well. And as we said, he's been more patient with it. It is more of a controlled attack in the second set than it was in the first. In the first, it seemed almost a bit wild, a little.
I think he was searching for the balance, because there's a balance that has to be struck, and I think he was searching for it, and he seems to have found it here.
Yeah, a singles match is very much like a chess match. It's not a sprint.
And that is not what he would have wanted. That breaks his own momentum a bit with that double fault. It's one thing to lose a hotly contested point on a ground stroke, a forced error, but a double fault is going to give King some confidence here at 15:30. And that's a good way to erase it. Beautiful serve, quintessential lefty serve again.
Yeah, King here looking at It's looking to see if he can find a mark, pointing to something, but I believe that serve, I don't think that was a mark. I think the serve was a bit shorter than where King is pointing.
30 all. Still scoreboard pressure. Oh, that's a tough miss because he did everything right.
Tennis can be a game of inches. 1 inch higher on that volley, and he would have a game point to go up 5-2. Instead, it's 30-40 and break point to Barbados. You can see Barkey going for even more on his first serve. And that's the break back.
That is the break back. Exactly what Darian would have wanted. Would have felt like if he gave away his service game, the previous game, and grabbed it right back to give us back on serve. And he'll now serve at 3-4, 4-3 Indonesia in this set, up a set to Barbados, 6-2 in the first set.
Now, Duncan, I want your opinion. I seem to feel, even though Darian is serving down 3-4 on serve, that losing that break, going down that break, it seemed to have sparked him. And I get the distinct impression, just that feeling from watching it here, that he is about to tighten up his game even more. And I feel that now he's a strong favorite to maybe even win the set 6-4.
Going down that break would definitely have woken him up a little bit more. He seemed to have, he knows that he essentially gave a few free points, and then Barkey took advantage, and Barkey had really started to get some good momentum. I would say that double fault at 15 all in Barkey's service game, that broke his own momentum, and I think that would have even more so given Darian a bit more of a motivation. I don't know if that's the correct word, but would have made him feel a bit more confident that yes, I know that I can tighten up and I can take this from here.
Yes, I agree.
And that's what you called earlier one of those punishing points.
Yes. And I feel like I can see the intention in every shot now that Darian's playing, the intention in his footwork. Let's watch it. Yeah, it's like he's picked up the intensity a little bit.
Just a little bit more. He's like you made reference to the levels being, the skill levels are the same, but he has another gear, and he seems to have shifted that gear now. Yeah, everyone can hit forehands and backhands and serves, but there's little things that just feel a little bit slightly different. His first serve percentage in this game is better already. He found he was missing a few more, and I think he's made all of them so far, and then it's now 40 love.
I think that one was the second serve just now.
Yes,
that was the first
that's true.
That was the first miss on a first serve in this game. Did you see the fake underarm serve?
I did see it. That's just really good play.
Raising the level,
Yeah.
raising the level. You can see the intensity raising. He was upset that he was broken. Felt like like you said, like he shouldn't have been, and it was a bit of a gift. And he's raised the level of intensity, and I feel it's just a feeling that you get watching it. From you watch a person play so long and watch enough tennis, you can feel that this game now is going to be advantage Darian. You might get another break here.
Yeah, and I would say that also I think that Barkey did seem to deflate slightly during his last service game as well. Moving from a point when he had a very definitive pep in his step, and then as that game wore on, it wasn't quite as intense there, and now he has to fight to stay in this with this service game.
Not the right way to start. You
No.
see,
I said stay in it, but the truth is it's 4-all, and I think I gave a good indication of the way it feels.
yes.
Where it feels as if he's behind, but really on the scoreboard they're even. But the feeling on the court is definitely not even right now, Ryan. It's
No.
feeling very much like Darian is fully in control.
Indeed. Love 30 now. That serving volley felt a bit panicky.
And that is just 3 relatively weak misses there from Barkey.
And that's because he hasn't been in this position, you know, tight to save it for his country. And that experience is so key. There we have it.
That's 2 double faults, basically 2 semi-forced errors, and a very easy break there for Darian. Break at love. That is pretty deflating for anyone in red and white right now.
5-4 to Barbados. King holds this serve, and the tie will be Barbados' tie.
Yeah, as you said, he would not have been in this position before. But the good thing from an Indonesian perspective is that he is now being put in that position, and that means that in the future he will be able to draw from this experience as he plays more ties for his country.
Guys, where has it all gone wrong for Justin Barkey?
I think it's not so much going wrong for Barkey as that, as Duncan said, Darian raised the gear. You could see, I made the comment, even down 3-4 and serving, that I felt like this was going to be a 6-4 set to Darian, that he would win 3 more games in a row. You can see the switch in the level, the switch in intensity. So Darian is of a higher quality just in achievements, and he's showing it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Excellent point.
Really good point. As the point was playing on, I was thinking Barkey needs, the longer it goes, the more he needs to win this point. He had to work for it, hit a really good backhand down the line, and still had to play another 2 or 3 balls in order to win the point.
Yes, and he's got it to 50 now. He's fighting for his life. He's fighting for his country's survival in this tie. And he's showing really an admirable attitude.
Definitely.
First serve was a let, but you could see King taking the pace off of it. Very much content to start the rally with the serve.
Yeah, I think that he knows that even though he lost that long rally, what that did for him physically versus what it did to his opponent could easily earn him the rest of the points in this set.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on. There it is. There it is. Even though he might have been able to win that one, he has to do it again and again.
And mentally and physically, that's just really tough to do. And that was essentially a topspin drop shot that Darian just played. Yeah. Just a really, really intelligent shot, recognizing the distance his opponent was. Match point. Point for a Barbados victory in this tie. And that is it.
Win number 1 million for Darian and Davis Cup for Barbados. In the blue, yellow, and black. Excellent performance. Good fight from Barky from Indonesia. He will come on for this, but Darian has proven to those who think that he is down and out that he is anything but. He is an absolute treasure at the Davis Cup level. He has been invaluable to Barbados. You see the team there celebrating on the side of the court. Hugs all around. Everybody fully vaccinated.
And that was a great point you made, Ryan. He's proven that he's anything but done at the highest level. He's proved that he's still the man that we can rely on for our advancement and for our success in tennis. And it has been a totally enthralling match between King and Barky, and King proving that he is still indeed the king, and he's the man that we have to give our utmost respect to. And commiserations to Indonesia and Justin Barky, who put on 2 great matches already for the day, but it was not to be. And the home side definitely using whatever home advantage there was. You guys mentioned the net bouncing in our favor. Even though we don't have any supporters here, we still can feel the Bajan energy around. Certainly in this World Cup of tennis, the Barbadians have certainly done everyone proud. Final comment shortly from Ryan. What do you think of this last set, and what do you expect from Barbados to come in the Davis Cup?
Well, again, this last set from Darian really showed the level. Oh, we're hearing we're getting some goosebumps here from the celebration of the team, man. Everybody's really happy.
Taking you back down memory lane as well.
Back down memory lane, smiles all around. No, in terms of Barbados and tennis, we really do go with Darian King. He is our undisputed #1, and our success at this level of the Davis Cup is hugely dependent on him and his performances. So we saw him from down 4-2 able to raise his level, and from 4-2 down you got the sense that even though he was down, that he was still going to win, and it was just really a matter of time. You could see that he could raise that level. So the way he did it, making that feeling a reality and making that feeling a justified feeling, I think that we have good hope for the next few years that we can continue to progress into maybe World Group 1 and still do really well. And as I said, it really hinges on, a lot of it hinges on Darian's health and his performance. And from what I've seen here, I'm confident that on the world stage individually he will be back. You know, he was hit not only by this injury, but with with COVID, there were fewer tournaments available, and these tournaments are starting to come back on stream now, and I'm sure he is back already, and you know, we have a very good group of youngsters. We have on the team, well, Hayden Lewis, he's experienced, but he's still one of the best doubles players in the world for me. I'm sure that there are not 200 better doubles players in the world than Hayden Lewis. And Hayden's still very good in singles too. Don't get me wrong. It's just that he doesn't play.
Reigning top 8 champion.
Reigning top 8 champion. I played that tournament myself, and I saw the power. He's still there. We have Kaipo Marshall, who played. Kaipo is at Duquesne University on a NCAA Division 1 tennis scholarship. Coincidentally, that's the same university where I played. Kaipo is doing really well. I think he's there now. He just needs a bit more maturity, but Kaipo is going to be fine. Stephen Slocum, he's on the team. He's 18 years old, and he's really a really good young player. Matthew Eswick, who's here on the team, who's been doing very well in Florida, playing some money tournaments for adults. He won 1 or 2. He's been doing really well. Xavier Lawrence, he's also out of the island playing money tournaments, and he's doing well as well. And I think we do have a good group of players. We have definitely some good players for the young ones coming up to look up to, and the ones who are fighting for spots on the Davis Cup team. They're all willing. They're all trained. Good thing about this day and age now, we're seeing what they're doing on Instagram and social media, and they're all training hard. I mean, the young man Slocum has his shirt off, and he's never been in better shape than this. I can tell you that. They've really been working hard on their physical and on their mental, and I think is only really up. I think we are fully into the golden age of tennis for Barbados. Barbados has never been this. We were in Group 1. How many years ago was it that we got into Group 1?
It's quite a number of years that we've stayed there.
Yeah, we have stayed at this level for a very, very long time. The last time we were in Group 4, which is the lowest level of Davis Cup, is when I was on the team.
Oh, no wonder.
No wonder. But we won Group 4 though. It was with Hayden. We won Group 4 that year.
No wonder, because of Hayden.
Yeah, because of Hayden. No, for sure. It wasn't because of me. We won Group 4 in 2012. That would have been the last time I would have played. I wasn't good enough to play in the Group 3 and Group 2. But once we moved out of Group 4 in 2012, it was Group 3. We won then Group 3 in 2013. And we've never dropped below Group 2 since then.
So what's next for us now?
Well,
promotion?
Next, now I believe we have another tie to play in November. I was looking as hard as I could for the draw. I will have to ask the officials to see who we would be facing next. But we're in the world group. I mean, listen, the types of nations that are in this group are nations like Switzerland. I don't know if anybody remembers. There's gentlemen by the names of, I don't know, Roger Federer and Stanislas Wawrinka.
Who are those guys?
Yeah, there's some tennis players that you may or may not have heard of. But they there's a lot of very, very good nations at this level, and that we are really pleased with our ability to compete and genuinely compete. So we will hope. We'll have to look to see who we have to play next come the next tie, but I think we definitely, as long as Darian and Hayden and the other guys, Kaipo and Stephen, Matthew, Xavier, as long as they continue to progress and develop, we have a good shot of getting back to the Group 1 and making a push.
Yeah, I mean, we still have those old, the quote-unquote slightly older players too, Shauna Williams, Russell Mosley, who are still pushing these guys and still beating them in certain tournaments. I mean, last year our national champion was Russell Mosley, beat Stephen Slocum. Yeah, Kaipo was in that tournament. So we have a lot of good players. I think that they still need more support financially. It's a difficult sport to stay at the top level. It requires money. Right, and it is not a cheap sport. You have to buy shoes, you have to buy rackets. You're constantly getting rackets strung. I saw about 6 or 7 rackets being strung as we were just sitting here, just for these 2 matches that have played so far. So,
and that's not even taken into account. Really, the only way to get to the levels that we see Darian and Hayden be able to play is to go and play tournaments, and they don't have them. I mean, yes, we have a very good, solid group of local players, but the level of tennis that these guys need to play is higher than what they can get locally. So, like as Ryan said, Xavier, Kaipo, and Matthew I believe, and I believe Stephen as well, and Xavier, all of them have been playing tournaments in Florida. They've been training at an academy in Florida, trying to prepare and get in as much of that type of experience as they can, so that they can, level up and be able to really compete at this level.
So you've been here all weekend. You've obviously witnessed all the games, all the matches yesterday and today as well. Was your assessment of Team Barbados overall, and just things that you liked and things that you didn't like?
Well, there's very few things that I didn't like. I mean, we won, so that's the thing I like the most. I mean, Darian was brilliant for the entire weekend. All 3 matches that he played very, very well. Hayden also really impressive in the doubles. Really pleased with his level of play still. I mean, after representing Barbados in Davis Cup for I don't even know how long, but really still being able to play at this level. And I was quite happy with Kaipo. He has some things that he needs to learn to play at this level. But I think that he really played well and showed that he can compete and can play at this level. And as he gets more opportunities to play, he'll only improve and continue to grow. And that really speaks to a bright future for Barbados tennis with these younger players.
And we're lucky to be led by the captain, Damien Applewhite, former Davis Cup player himself. He's, I think, an ITF level 3 coach, which is the highest level that you can get. So we have good people here. There's good leadership, and the guys really come together as a team really well. That's from what I've seen. I can see the teamwork. I can see everyone supporting each other, and that's what we need. But we need more than them supporting each other. We need I know it's really hard right now with COVID financially, but corporate Barbados and the corporate world, these guys really need some support. They need some financial support. It would be great if we had a fund, an elite travel fund, that could help some of these guys go and play the tournaments that they need and get the exposure that they need, so that we could really have a chance of being at that final Davis Cup tournament at the end of the year.
Yeah, and it would be a really, really good thing if we I mean, obviously right now there's no crowds, but hopefully over maybe in a year or so, when we're hosting ties here, we will be able to have crowds again. And the higher level we're playing, the more recognizable the names of our opponents will be. And how fantastic would it be to get a Novak Djokovic or something crazy like that to come and play in Barbados and in front of a massive crowd.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're spraying the not champagne. It looks like spraying the water on the court in celebration, and that's really nice scenes out there. But we have, as Duncan said, getting those great players out here, that would be fantastic. And we have already had some good players out here. We had Grand Slam doubles champions from Colombia, Farah and Cabal, and Hayden and Darian almost beat them. They took them really, really, really close. And these are guys that have won multiple Grand Slams in doubles. So the level here that we have is extremely high, and we've seen some top class tennis. I tell you, just come from the US Open. I was there in person, and the level here is absolutely comparable to what I would have seen there.
Fantastic work, guys. It's been brilliant being with you for these last couple of days. About Novak, him and I speak regularly on Instagram. Of course. So he's just a phone call away.
Nice guy.
So whenever you want to meet him, just let me know and I'll send him a quick DM. But it's been brilliant being with you for these last couple of days, and Barbados have certainly made us proud, winning 3 matches to 1 to take this Davis Cup tie convincingly on the back of 3 fantastic performances by Darian King. He's certainly still the king of Barbadian tennis, and he is here to stay. The 29-year-old certainly has a few more years left in the tank, and we are all proud of Team Barbados. My name is Nick Maitland, and thank you for being here with me and Ryan and Duncan, 2 guys who have a brilliant future in tennis commentary and tennis analysis, and I'm sure that they will put their powers to good use. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations once again to Team Barbados.